DNS configuration. In this tutorial, I will go over how to set up an internal DNS server using the bind name server software, bind 9 on Ubuntu 15.10. DNS. What does it stand for? Domain Name System. It is the chain of command distributed database whose principal purpose is to provide a host name to IP address mapping for a networked host. Alright, here I'm gonna use this server 003 DNS. As far as you can see, already logged in. I'm gonna go to the terminal. What you see here, I've logged in as a normal user, not as a super user. This is the host name, which I'm gonna have to change to a DNS. Alright, let's go on. I'm gonna go as a super user. Host name. Alright, I'm gonna change this name to DNS. Then I'm gonna save it. Alright, let's see. It's taking effect. Alright, that's done. That's the first point. Checking the host name, changing the host name. Now I'm gonna check the IP by typing if config. We have it, because you have to pay attention to this. This is a network interface. Your one could be different. This is the IP address that we have, finishing with 99. Now we have a broadcast, also the subnet mask. Okay. Alright, knowing that for a server DHCP is not recommended, sees as a point of failure. As far as you can see, my IP address from DHCP leaves dynamically. Alright guys, just to make you aware guys, the server has to have a static IP address. Now we are going to configure the server from the dynamic to the static IP. We are going to edit the network interface file and make some changes on it, meaning we are going to replace the current set. This is the command that you need to type. I use nano. You can use vi, also you can use gedit. What we have here, as I said to you guys before, your interface could be different. It may be different than mine, right? So what we're gonna have to change, we're gonna have to change this to DHCP to static. Let's get down. So first thing we need to change. Okay, done. Now we're gonna get down and assign an IP address, new one, network, gateway. Yes guys, this is a setup. You got an address, IP address, subnet mask, network, broadcast, and gateway. Here we had 999 previously, but we're gonna have to change it. Find a different IP, find a different number. We can I'm gonna go for 100. Alright, as far as you can see, we got the subnet mask 255.255.255. It means network, and one host. And we got a network itself. We got at the end of the network we have a 0. It means this byte is turned off, right? Then come down here, come down. Yeah, this is it. This 0 means the byte is turned off. Come down to the broadcast. What we have here, 255. It means the byte is back on. Alright, come down. The last one is a gateway. The gateway is actually from the router, right? Your one may be different than mine, but my one I'm gonna quickly show you where I got my one from. Alright, easiest way, got to start cmd, gonna end up with this window. Then we type ipconfig if you're using a window. Same as me here. Look, look at my gateway. It says 254. So one I'm using, that's the one I'm gonna use here. Two, 5, 4. Right. Oh, I'm gonna show you something real quick. See, why I'm using 192. It's a class C. I wanted you to know. I think I forgot to tell you. I forgot to tell you that. With our class C, this is where we go. This is where we start from. 192 to 223, and the max host is 254. Same as me. Same as my gateway. And you got 3 octets and 1 host. Alright, now back to my config file. Now I'm gonna complete the changes by restarting the networking services. First of all, I'm gonna have to save this file. Guys, please use this command. Tap this so you can restart the networking. Right, it's working. Now what we're gonna do now, we're gonna have to install the bind 9. But first, before doing that, we're gonna have to run an update. This is what you need to type. Press enter. To install the bind, this is what you need to type and press enter. Yes, carry on. Great. Let's see if bind has been installed. Right, it's in. Okay, it's looking fine. Looks like everything's in. Bind has been installed. So now we can move on. Alright guys, here I'm creating 2 files. One for reverse lookup zone and the domain zone. Press enter. Now I'm going to edit and configure the named config local file. Basically, a DNS resource resource record is an entry in a DNS database that specifies information for some resource that is maintained in a domain. Alright, let's press. Alright, apparently it looks like it's empty. We're gonna configure that. Go down. Yes guys, I've made some changes on this file. As far as you can see, this is my organization name .org. Put it in here. This part I'll call it forward lookup zone, and this is a reverse lookup zone. As far as you can see, we started from the last number to the first. Well, here we only got a name .org, so it's fine. I've got stuff to show you, just to demonstrate, to explain more about the reverse lookup and the forward lookup zones. For the time being, now I'm gonna save it, and we're gonna move on to something else. Save it, it's fine. Yeah, here I've just copied the db.0 file to my zone file, and I'll make some changes later on. Done. Well, next I'm going to edit my organization zone file and make some changes. There we go. Well, we have 2 types of record in here: the start of authority (SOA) and the name server, plus we have to change all these localhost to localhost names and organizations. I mean ifcom.org. we're gonna have to change it now, guys. Remember, host name has changed to DNS. So now let's make some changes. DNS localhost dot the domain name here, which is ifcom.org. Top layout, the changes have been made as far as you can see. Now we're gonna go down the bottom to change the NS, the name server. Hey guys, configuration have been completed. Now we have the we had one here. We have to change it to 42 and come down here. You have just like a forward lookup zone where you have NS, the name server, it has been specified, and you got the domain names right there, nicely it's clear. Also you have the A record, call it address. It has to be like an IP for the mapping when the service DNS host name lookup. So that's the way it has to be. Have to save it now and move on. Yes guys, now I'm gonna copy my domains on file to this rev zone, which is reverse lookup zone, but the one I've copied, I'll call it probably a forward lookup zone, and I'm gonna dump into the zone, the reverse lookup zone. Then I'm gonna make some changes on it where I'm gonna insert the PTR, which is another type of record used for IP address host name mapping. Alright, let's press enter. Done. Alright, this is it. This is the command. I've tapped it there. Nano zone reverse lookup. Alright. Well, now I'm gonna make some changes here. As far as you can see, I'm not touching anything right up in the top here. Nothing whatsoever. Stays as it is. I'm gonna work on the bottom where I'm gonna insert another type of record, the PTR. Yeah guys, I made some changes in here, but not done yet. Remember, this is the last octet of our IP address, 100. And, here we got a record where we're gonna change a record. We're gonna change this a record. We're gonna replace it to the PTR record. Let's do it. Yes guys, before I save this file, the config file, I want you to look at this. So I've got something here for you. The difference between the forward lookup, the forward and the reverse lookup zone, right? Please, on your own time, I think you're gonna have to read that. Alright, let's move on. This is it. This is a difference, right, between the reverse lookup and the forward lookup. Well, look, what is the DNS name for this IP address? Well, that's actually, I have to change it to 100, and this is all. That's the answer. That's the answer you're gonna get. That's the way it works out. And the reverse is that from the name to the IP. The first one from the IP to the name. So do some research on it on your own time, guys. Now let's go back to my file. Take a look at it one more time before I save it. Now I'm gonna save it because it's ready. The PTR records are there. Now ready to save it. Yes. Right, now let's, yeah, I think this is the last file that we're gonna have to config. Name the resolve config file. We have only two things in here: the search for the domain and the name and the name server plus the IP address. Alright, let's press enter. Alright, what we have here, we have the name server. As I said, we got 2 points. The name server with IP address with 254, which is actually the gateway from the router, and we need to change it. For we're gonna have to replace it by the new IP address. Finish it with 100, and the name server. The name server, we have to put a domain name in here. So I'm gonna make some changes in it. Alright guys, changes have been made. For the name server, we've used the IP address of the server, and for the search, we have the name of the domain. So it's done. Now we can save it and move on. Yes. Well, next we're gonna have to restart the bind 9. Pressing enter. Okay, looks like everything is looking good. Now finally, we're gonna have to test it by typing ns lookup zone, see if everything's working accordingly. Right, seems like we have a little bit of problem that can easily fixed. Yeah guys, I found a problem. It was actually on a reverse lookup zone file. The mistake is actually there. I shouldn't be, the DNS shouldn't even be there, so I'm gonna have to take it out and save it again. That's it. Enter. That's fine. And yeah, that's it. Now also I have to change this here. I changed it from it too, because we had a DNS in here also. Please, the DNS was in here. That's my mistake right there. Yeah, remember, I think you've seen it before. Just take it out and save the file, press enter, and that's it. And now we can restart it again, restart the bind 9, and do the lookup zone, the reverse lookup. Bang, we're on. So that's it. Actually a few mistakes here there. I think we managed to fix the mistakes and everything is working fine. If there's any issue, please don't hesitate to send me a little message, then I'll get in touch.